It's a blessing to be back. What's happening? It's your boy T Good.
And your boy T Rice. We back.
Yes, sir. The Good Game Podcast at you one more time. It's been a lot going on, brother. How you been, man?
I've been good, man. I ain't seen you in a minute, big dog. You know what I mean? What's going on with you?
Same old thing, bro. Trying to get by and honestly, man, trying to come to terms with how I feel about a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world.
Absolutely.
So I kind of had to take a deep breath from that, decompress a little bit because, of course, whenever you have those kind of emotions, you want to let things settle.
Right.
Before you step out and say too much or do too much. Because speaking out of emotion or acting out of emotion is rarely ever good.
Okay.
So I've just been trying to let things sink in, and I kind of got to focus now. How about yourself, bro? How you been handling everything?
Man, I've been handling it pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Just talking to my little man and my other son, my kids. Just trying to explain to them. Everything is chess. Think about what's going on.
Yeah.
Think about it. Just don't overreact. Don't be a wave rider. Think about what's going on.
Yeah, I love that.
It's a lot of things going on right now that it just doesn't add up. So just think. Don't listen. Don't let the media lead you in one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? Because, I do want to say this, and I'm sure yourself, the media is trying to bring in a fight right now amongst people. Mm-hmm. And I've had some, me personally, I've had some fine, I known some and have some fine, wonderful Caucasian white people. You see what I'm saying? So
me too.
You don't want to get into that fight. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand. You got to think. Just think what's going on.
I agree with you 100,000%, and I'll go one further. I've had worse encounters with black police than white police.
You know what?
That's just me. I have to be honest. I've been dead wrong and gotten a few passes from some white police for no reason. Late hours, just me and them, could have been anything.
That's amazing.
Show me love.
That's amazing.
And I've had some go the other way. Doesn't say anything, blanket statement about any of it.
Right.
I will say this, though, to add on to what you're saying. I just as many good white people as I have and who have shown themselves to be supportive in this time,
yeah.
I have been surprised by some others.
Right.
Who I thought were cool.
Right. Okay.
Let's be completely frank.
Let's
Look here, this is our show. How real we gonna be?
We should be all the way real.
Let's be all the way real.
Just to talk.
Yeah, just to talk. Some white girls that wanted to get with you in high school. They must have forgot because they not showing the love you would expect from somebody that was obviously a fan of black men.
Right.
So it's surprising to see the stance that some people have, but not as surprising as maybe it would have been to me at one point in time. Man.
Right. I understand. To me, I believe, and again, like I said, I think, and I look at it a different perspective. Mm-hmm. Even though some of the white people, because I don't overreact. Some of the white people may not be acting out or reacting to the way that I think or someone else think they should. Mm-hmm. I just think there's I don't look at it as malicious. Mm-hmm. Get yourself educated about whatever's going on.
I agree.
You see
with
what
that.
I'm saying? So if people take a couple steps back and try to educate their white friends and their black friends, black or white, educate.
I don't indict people for silence.
But
when you speak out of ignorance,
right, then
you expose yourself.
Right.
Or you speak
and
out of anger.
Hopefully when you speak out of ignorance or, hopefully you're able to be drawn back in to listen. Mm-hmm. As you said, listen objectively. Anything in life, if you want growth, communication is the vessel to growth.
Yes.
In anything.
That's
well
said.
You're married, man.
Yes.
Communicate. It takes a lot of, I'm sure it takes a lot of communication.
Oh, listen, communication. After you communicate, you better go communiate again. Yeah, right. And make sure you have an understanding about what you communicated about.
Absolutely.
The first time. To say, now listen, let's make sure we clear. You're 100% right. Which kind of makes me ask you the question, where are you on, and I know this is just a shoot around, but I want your personal thoughts without doing it through the lens of sports. I want the T Rice. So this is a little longer shoot around than usual for a purpose. I want your thoughts on, I like what you said at first about chess. What do you think about the chess game, the strategy if we can use that metaphor, behind perhaps capturing a piece that's on the other side? How are you about somebody that says one thing one day, and after communicating with somebody who gives them a new understanding, where are you on forgiveness or accepting those kinds of changes in stance?
I try to be an action guy, an action guy. So therefore, even though they say it, I look for their actions. Okay. And if they say it, I'm gonna hold them to their word. So if it's forgiving someone comes from the man. You don't grow up until you can forgive.
Yes.
So yes, you can forgive someone if they've seen it differently, because again, goes back to educating yourself. Just because someone doesn't see how I see it doesn't mean they're absolutely wrong.
Right.
So maybe I can help them. Even if when we break off, they don't understand it still to how I want them to. When they go into another conversation or debate, trust me, if you articulate, which that's why I love speaking with you, because you help me grow into the arena of articulating better. You know what I'm saying? Not just a debate, articulate.
I appreciate
a lot of people go into a hater because they can't articulate.
Right.
You got where I'm coming from?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
if you can articulate it, they may not let you know then. It's an ego thing from
Oh,
anybody.
absolutely. Yeah.
From anybody.
No
when
doubt.
they get chastised or
No
learn
doubt.
some game, they may take that somewhere else. And then they may fight for it. See what I'm saying? Everybody got to take that.
Because then they
guard
can own it.
Then they can,
out of your presence, like this is their perspective now.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yeah.
that's if you just teach it, and I learned that patience from coaching and dealing with young kids.
I think that's the key word, patience.
There it is.
It does take patience. It takes patience because we want to see the results now. I want to hear you admit you change and bow down, and that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen now when you've been raised a certain way. Your family been a certain way. You got great grandmothers, you've been a certain way. So once you go back home, you got to fight these things. You got to sell this to your grandmother.
Yeah.
Even
who may have been, and this was what makes it harder, she may be passed away.
Absolutely.
So what do you indict her after death to say grandma died wrong? That's a whole, to embrace a different way of living than your whole generational. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, that's a different situation. And I agree. I like what you said a lot, Rice. And I really appreciate it because I agree with you wholeheartedly on this. I feel like if we're going to compare this to chess, and I like the way you said you talk to your young ones that and say it's chess, strategize. Pieces like Drew Brees.
Yes.
Who were a piece on the board for Trump. If we're playing chess and we have strategized in a way that we have captured his piece, we made him say, I was wrong, I apologize.
There you go.
Teach me, show me how I can be different. We have some people in our community who would say to our opponent, keep that piece. I don't even want it.
No.
Keep it. No. Keep him on the board for you. But one less piece for your opponent, it puts you one step closer to checkmate.
Absolutely.
So you take, even if we don't use it in chess, you can't take that piece and put it on the board for you.
Right.
No, you sit him over here.
Right.
And like you said, watch his actions. But you go ahead and grab him. You accept his apology.
Yes.
Watch to see the results, and you put him over here on your side. Take him off the board for Trump. He can no longer speak for him.
No longer.
So I just hope our people can get to a point where even if they don't wholeheartedly accept an apology, that they can accept it in principle in order to achieve the end goal. And we'll talk about later in the second half. I think we plan to talk about some of these apologies and changes of heart within the realm of sports.
Right.
And whether or not we should accept them and what that means rolling it forward, man. But it's good to see you, bro. It's been way too long.
It's been way
and
too
I'm excited to get in here and do some damage. So you ready to get this thing rolling?
We're going to get to rolling. But before we get to rolling.
Let's go. Tell me.
Before we get to rolling.
Please.
The COVID been a whole joke. Well, let's go on and then move on. Let's go on and move on to the...
Listen, they said the day after the protests, thousands of protesters were infected. And it was It was serious news. Serious news, man. Listen, I know we had to do this disclaimer because some people always want to misconstrue your words and stretch it to ignorance.
Exactly.
And it's like, bro, listen, we know people have died.
Absolutely.
People are really getting this disease.
Right.
Our respect and condolences out to those who have lost their lives or who have battled, who are still battling the COVID disease. We're not saying it's fake, but what we're saying is that the numbers have been cooked potentially because nothing adds up.
Nothing.
2 and 2 in math still equals 4 unless something has changed.
Right.
So you can't tell me one thing one day and change it the next and expect me not to follow the numbers and see the math doesn't work.
Right.
And I don't think that's some big major conspiracy theory or we need tinfoil hats like we're saying something crazy. That's really obvious.
It's really obvious.
And maybe one day we'll be able to come in here and say we see why they tried to play us like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, let's go forward and we'll see y'all in the first half. What's happening? We're back again. It's time for the first half. We're excited to delve into this topic because I think it's close to both of our hearts. We have a lot of respect for the pioneers who made advances for black people in general through their respective sports. Sometimes on an individual basis and sometimes collectively, like the collection of black players who supported Muhammad Ali. Absolutely. When he didn't want to go fight in the war. Black players have pioneered a place for blacks in the world through sports for years. Bill Russell, Jackie Robinson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown. The list goes on and on. The brothers who threw the fist up at the Olympics. Tony, I want to ask you, what responsibility do you feel that today's player, our biggest black stars, in their respective sports, whatever they may be, football, basketball, boxing, whatever, what responsibility do they have to further the black cause at large, using the power of their dollar, the power of their position and platform? Do they have a responsibility at all? Or if they choose not to be political or further the cause and just live for themselves and their families, are they wrong? Are they bad? What are your thoughts on the responsibility of the black athlete furthering the black cause?
My thoughts personally are, for me, I don't look at it as if the black star is obligated to step on the front line.
Okay.
Not at all. They're not obligated. What I don't like is we give credit to those or some for just saying some things. You know, to step in the front line and to go about this racism and equality type of, fight. Okay. It's almost like an all in. You're disrespecting those that came before you if you think just a conversation or just saying something is enough. And I think we plateau those for just saying something. It takes sacrifice. So if you're not going to sacrifice, it may not be your fight. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. I understand.
It may not be your fight if you're not going to sacrifice. And if you stay out the way, that's okay. Because again, what we talked about in the shoot around, you weren't educated. Mm-hmm. If you get educated, like we all know, and soon enough to be a guest on our show, let's say a Keith Neal. Let's say, someone strong that you can listen to and educate you about what's going on. If once you get educated, if you make it to that level, you're going to sacrifice.
Oh, absolutely.
Mahmoud Rauf was educated in his fight.
Yes.
Craig Hodges was educated in his fight. If you understand what's going on, it's not going to be a question where we're looking at it like me myself. I was like sitting out a game. It's always easy to tell someone what they should do. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for that. We're not in those shoes. But to be honest with you, like if you're educated and you really big time like that, you're going to sit out. You're going to make a move. Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to veto and don't go to the Olympics, he was educated on what's going on. And when he did that, his coach followed him. John Wooden backed him. See what I'm saying? So that goes back to your taking the piece off. So we took a piece. We took John Wooden off way back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
But they always, if they feed you something, you jump back in and act like, it's, you know what I'm saying? You forget about it.
Okay, a couple things I want to ask you, branched off directly off of what you said. Number one, is it ever, say for instance, a LeBron James? I want to bring that name up because he's one of the more outspoken stars out there. And I believe personally that he is so big across all races, across all financial classes. I believe that a white boy that hears LeBron say something may look at it differently because LeBron said it. So does the power of the word sometimes weigh heavy, even without the visible sacrifice, where others remain quiet? I'm saying, does that count for something? Is the weight of a voice different enough to warrant maybe looking at it differently, even if it is just words, or words without so many actions that you can see? Do you understand my question?
I understand your question.
Okay.
And I don't think so. I don't think the word. Yeah.
His word sits heavy right now.
But I think
and it may not be to us, but to a white person that may not see it how he sees it. If he says something, that might make him look into it. A lot of people love him, man.
They love him. But
you got to give
reason, because the word isn't that strong. That's why you put people in place. To me, I believe that the people in place, that the word is working against the people of action.
Do you?
Absolutely. Because
explain that to me.
The word doesn't resonate. The word doesn't resonate for long. It's just like if you.
What if it finds a place in somebody who takes action? What if it changes the mind of people?
It's never changed. It's never did that. I truly believe that if we had a platform of social media, right, in the 70s, there would have been somebody on O.J. Simpson's marketing team to tell O.J. Simpson to say this. But the word wouldn't have did anything. He would have said it, because what does it take to say, just say something?
Well, if that was the case, he would have said something different than "I'm not black, I'm OJ." He said, without social media, he found a microphone and said a lot of crazy stuff.
He said that at a dinner, not in front of everybody in the world. He didn't know that would get taped and get back.
You don't
in front of the world.
You don't think he said some other crazy stuff in public?
Not in front of the world as far as that piece.
Okay.
He stayed away. And he stayed away. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
That's what he did. He did.
Ain't got nothing to do with you. Okay, that's cool. But what I'm saying is, he wasn't able. They put him on the spot. Jim Brown, Kareem, Russell, put him on the spot.
And said, "Come with us."
Your words can't. We out here in the front line.
Yeah,
come with us. So that pushed him into, "I'm not black, I'm OJ."
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If they ain't doing nothing, then he can say I'm black. We all black. You know what I'm saying? But since they just stepped out there, he like, that ain't, I don't know what they are.
So you're saying that their action puts words or the meaninglessness of them in proper perspective.
That's what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? Because
because if he had said, "We're all gonna make a simple statement, just make a statement with us," he might have said yes.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Listen.
But when they said show up, we about to show up and really.
I think outside the box. And until OJ, and not even until, because OJ, God bless Nicole Brown Simpson, OJ got off.
He did.
You feel me? So what I'm saying with that is, until OJ went out there, right? OJ made more money than all the guys were speaking of off of their playing field.
Yeah. No question about that.
Because he went with what the media said. He didn't go against the grain.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It all came back. It all spent back around on him.
Yeah.
I just truly believe that the word, just saying it isn't enough to me. I don't believe, and whether it's a superstar, and I'm not saying that you may say it and you may be behind closed doors doing something.
Well, I think in LeBron's case, just using him specifically since we said his name, I think he's put his money where his mouth is in some ways. I think he has. I think The youth is where it's at. He's put money into some schools. He's done a lot of stuff. I have to be honest. On the court is one thing, but off the court, I always tip my hat to a lot of the things that he's done. Now, I'm not saying, this is what I'm not willing to say, that he's done more than others who may not publicize it as much. But all I know is whether or not he's publicized it on purpose, we can see that he's done some things.
Okay. So, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
We can see that he's done some things, right?
Yes.
Are we sure that others have done some things? Others have done some things too, probably. We can't see, right?
Absolutely right. That's what I just said. I'm not willing to say he's over and above anybody who may keep their business more private.
So if they're all doing some things, where are we falling short at?
What you mean?
If they're all fighting in this war, where are we falling short at? If what you're saying, what we're seeing is real, where are we falling short at? I guess the stars are doing. If they all, Drew Brees has done some things in New Orleans in the neighborhood.
He has.
So are they doing things that's?
Well, I'm not saying. Well, see, that's Tony. That's kind of like we don't know. I can't. If somebody's not saying what they're doing, I can't guess. I'm saying I would imagine he's not the only one. So I can't say where they falling short because I don't know who's all doing what. All I know is that a lot of stuff that LeBron does, we may not know all he does. But we do know that some of the things he does are made public. And like, for instance, Jalen Rose made it be known, LeBron ain't the only one with a charter school. I had been and had one. And that other people have had schools.
Can I ask you a question?
Certainly, please.
Oprah Winfrey's getting a lot of setback.
I don't like that. But go ahead and ask your question. I don't like that.
A lot of people going at Oprah.
I don't like it.
A few months ago.
Going at Jay-Z.
But Oprah.
Looking for people.
Oprah's done a lot.
Yes, she has. Yes, she has. Yes, she has.
So are we? So then is me even looking at myself? Mm-hmm. Are we looking for these stars to do too much then? Because I don't believe on the overall, any of them are really doing anything. So am I looking for?
Jesus, what's wrong with you, bro? You are so skeptical, man. You are a cynic. You are the biggest cynic I think I know, man.
I guess I'm gonna say thank you.
I don't think none of them.
I own it.
You said I don't think I
own
really.
it.
You said I don't think any of them are really doing anything. Come on, bro. You don't think they doing that, Bryce?
Huh?
They ain't doing that. All right, well, listen.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Real quick, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna be real, man.
Please.
All I'm gonna say, this is our show, right?
This is our show.
We can be real, right?
We're gonna be real, 100%.
My man.
Real.
Can I ask you a question?
I can hear you about to go somewhere crazy. Go ahead.
Ask you a question.
Go ahead. You can
All
ask
right,
me whatever
cool.
you want, bro.
Good. All right. Well, let's peep this.
Mm-hmm. Lord.
Peep this.
Okay.
Why don't Craig Hodges got Oprah Winfrey money? Because Oprah Winfrey just a better. Why Craig Hodges can't play in the league? Why Mahmoud was cold. Mahmoud was better than Curry. People don't know that.
No question about that.
So why can't he play in the league no more? Because he was for real. They was for real about the movement. They was for real about what they doing. There's not a person in America, there's not one, and I challenge you and anyone to listen to the show, there's not one person that's been for real about the movement of racism and equality for the minority people, for the inner city, for the people that don't have. There's not one person that moved up on the Forbes list. It's just not what it is. It's just not how this life goes. If you're about that, I mean, Martin Luther King
pay the price.
Martin Luther King got killed. Malcolm got killed. Mahmoud got boom. Craig Hodges, boom.
Ali, they said sit down.
Ali
in your prime.
Ali in your prime. You can't fight.
Yeah.
Ali was cold. Ali had to
they
go.
They took his license.
Ali had to get on his knees, and I'm exaggerating, and go find
Joe
Frazier.
Yeah.
And beg Frazier
after
to fight
his prime. Yeah, after his prime was
to
gone.
get back relevant.
Yeah.
As cold as he was.
Yeah.
Huh? Because of, you know what I'm saying? They try to punish him because he was for real. He went against what they wanted him to do. They wanted him to be OJ. Kareem.
So what you're saying is that some of our people we consider to be doing a lot are doing it within the rules, within the parameters of it's an allowed rebellion. It's an allowed stance.
I like how you put that. That's why you my guy. I couldn't have put it no better. They're well in the allowed stance. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put before the year comes. That's in the budget.
Permitted.
65,000 is in the budget for you
that.
to
go do that.
To go do that.
But if you step outside of that,
if you step outside of that,
like when if we're for freedom and equality, the people over in China,
yes,
they want their freedom, and people was listening for LeBron. Remember, they were headed over there. Not only did he not say anything, he told Morey, "You should have been quiet." There's a time and a way to say anything. Now, I'm not going at LeBron, but I'm saying to emphasize your point. There are obviously certain things. I think the NBA and I think Nike
around the world
said,
we all.
I want you to chill.
The word we all.
Yeah.
We all for the betterment, because we're in a capitalistic world.
Yes.
For the betterment of me, I know how far I can go with whatever I do. You understand what I'm saying? I know how far I can go with whatever I do.
Okay, well let me this conversation, I love where it's going because it's organic, so we just going where it's taking us. So let me take a branch off of what you're saying there. Is there something to be said for a person like LeBron or I want to quit using his name, any of the top stars that are saying stuff who are vocal?
I got another
Chris
name
Paul,
for
Melo
you.
says some stuff.
Forget all them.
Okay.
One of my favorite players, maybe my favorite, Magic Johnson. I believe Magic Johnson is tied into the whatever that side is.
He has to be. He has to be. If what you're saying is true, he has to be. So let me ask you this. With that being said, what space do you give to a brother like that to think generationally, to say rather than talk crazy and mess my money up and lose my power, I'll make this bread and impact by employing all black. They say Magic employed almost nothing but black people. I'll be the change rather than speaking about it and losing my power to affect change from within the system, because some people would say that it's always been classism over racism. And that's something that I think you and I are going to get to in the second half.
I like your point. Asking. I like that. We're here, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because in the shoot around we talked about chess. Mm-hmm. That's cold right there. Magic or LeBron or whoever that's chess. That's chess.
That's long term.
That's not to prove nothing to me.
Yeah.
That's chess. If you go about it that way, I know I'm ahead of the game. I know that if I say too much, I may lose my power to make change. So what I will do is follow their rules, almost like that Nat Turner type of thing. Follow their rules and come through the back door and try to.
And next thing you know, I'll upset the whole apple cart, which is what LeBron in a different way, it has empowered somewhat. It ain't a radical. But like the players, which are almost all black, have flipped the league.
Respect.
They run the league.
To a degree, they have.
They flip it.
To a degree, yes.
To a point where, honestly, if they don't find a way to wield that power more responsibly, right, it might be the demise of the league.
Right.
Because people are just going crazy, asking out of contracts.
But not even just the league. When you went to the LeBron thing, not just the league, because the league is going to be ran. It's a situation it's going to be ran on its own. You're only going to be able to do so much. But when you was talking about the LeBron and how you was talking about how you get it and then you come back this way.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron has several African American working for him.
No question. So in all of his different entities. Every movie I turn on lately, bro, you see Bron.
Right.
At the end of it. You notice that?
Absolutely. So he has a lot of
fingering all kind of pies, man.
Right. So if that apple falls to the tree and it goes that way, Maverick Carter then hires him a couple brothers. Yeah. So then, I mean, you can only do what you can. That's why I said with your question, where we started off in this first half with was basically,
what's their responsibility? It's hard because we're so far behind.
Yeah. And that's why we down here in the lower world swinging, saying what he should do, what she should do, what Oprah should do. We all blaming. They got us blaming our own, fighting within because we so far behind.
and as we close this first half, I'll give you an opportunity to say whatever you want to close the first half with. I want to just say that I hate that social media or public statements are the only way we judge what our stars are doing, or even each other.
That's sad.
I hate that Jay-Z has to come out and tell you. I was actually on the phone with the governor trying to tell him, you better up those charges, man.
Right.
Come on. And for you to respect the fact that, man, I'm not selling out.
Right.
I hate that we can't wait and see what he does within the NFL before we say he was a sellout, man. He didn't get Kaepernick back a job. Well, can we wait and see?
Right.
Who do you know that's waited to be a billionaire to sell out?
Right.
If he's going to sell out, I'll sell out on my way to try to get rich.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to get rich.
And then sell out.
Come on, bro.
I'm rich.
Like publicly sell out, not a private behind the scenes. Like
Right.
you said, the allowed stance you're allowed. Like,
Yeah.
you go speak radical.
Right.
But don't cross this line.
Right.
Like, no, I'm going to go publicly. I'm selling out Kaepernick and all of the black movement.
And I done moved it. And I made it. I've made it.
I've already made it.
I made it. So
Without doing that. I just hate that we're so impatient.
Absolutely.
That we need you to publicize it. Put it on social media. Make a statement. And even each other. If your approach is different than my approach, although we both agree we're trying to get there. But you say, hey, good,
like
I'm going that way.
I like that.
And I'm like, hey, okay, Rice, I'm going to meet you up there. I'm going this way. Somehow, instead of saying, hey, man, best of luck, bro. Good luck on your way. I'm going to go my way. I hope to see you over there. I'm going to holler across publicly, hey, bro, you a Tom for taking that way. Where we both agree we're trying to go.
We're trying to go that
Oh,
way.
you soft. Oh, you on that MLK. I'm Malcolm over here.
That's a shame.
It's like, it's a shame that
That's
we can't.
that's within our whole culture. That right there. And it's sad.
I've seen more black on black hate within posts, Black Lives Matters posts, Black Lives Matter posts, than any racist or white person getting on there saying anything. We doing it to each other, bro. And we both agree we want change.
Right.
And we'll still tear each other down because your approach is a little different
from
than
my
mine.
approach.
That's sad, bro.
That's sad.
What you said, let's end it on this. Education and communication.
Education and communication.
Education and communication.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all in a minute, Rice's Minute, in just a moment. Yes, sir. You know what time it is. As we always do about now, we hit that minute, Rice's Minute, where we give Coach Rice an opportunity to, I guess, broaden our horizons, to educate us about basketball from his perspective. And so right now, he's going to take us directly into the importance of ball movement. Well, excuse me, movement without the ball, not ball movement. Movement without the ball. And how it separates those who need the ball in their hand to be effective on the offensive side of the ball from those who can be effective without the basketball in their hands and still be an intricate and important part of an offense without the ball in their hands. It separates the men from the boys. Mr. Rice is going to tell us how.
I'm gonna start this off with myself.
Okay.
When I, younger, when I was playing basketball, myself, before I dig into this, needed the ball in his hands. I wanted the ball in my hands. That's the thing. You want the ball in your hands, and to a degree, that handicaps you. Mm-hmm. It handicaps you because you don't get to understand the science and the beauty of playing basketball without the ball. It's so many things that you can do without the ball to be effective. Moving without the ball, I think, brings the total, complete player. And you know that I go at, there's a player that I go at very hard, really hard. But he's probably the best player I've seen move without the ball.
Is he a chef?
He the chef.
He's a chef.
Chef Curry, man. Chef Curry, man. He just, when you watch, and I tease and I troll, but Chef Curry has that down on a professional level of doing his damage without the ball. That's why people hurt him when they pigeonhole him to be a point guard. Mm-hmm. No, because his damage is without the ball.
And most of his damage is
without
absolutely
right. So
right.
moving without the ball, you have to do a lot of things. Okay. With moving out the ball when you were score is misdirection. And as a coach, as a player, you could do a lot of things with your best player is able to move without the ball. Okay. You can misdirect. He can set a back screen for another player, which that's going the man is guarding him, which is Curry or anybody, Michael Jordan, whoever. The man is guarding you. If you set a screen, I always tell guys this, and not necessarily a ball screen, but you can set a ball screen. I did it this year with my best shooter. I had him set the ball screen, and then if you guarding him, you have to hold for the man to come off the screen. If you don't hold, the man come off the screen, he's going to have the world.
Yes.
If you hold, now my shooter going to have a mismatch with the other guy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's all parts of moving without the ball. Moving without the ball is an art. Richard Hamilton was a great guy that can move without the ball. You know, cut. You got it's timing now. It's timing. Moving without the ball doesn't mean run to the ball. And what I'm sad about is that a lot of our trainers or trainers to be, because we have probably about 4,000, 5,000 trainers in the city of Columbus. So we're gonna put training wheels on them trainers. They're not teaching they're building up the same kid. Yeah. You can't have 5 kids on your team or 5 men on your team all that need the ball.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? We can spin it back to your Last Dance thing. Yeah. Dennis Rodman was Dennis Rodman without the ball.
Without the ball.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely
Dennis Rodman,
right.
Kerr could be Kerr without the ball. Kukoc played without the ball. You needed some guys that didn't have the ball. Michael Jordan could do a lot of damage without the ball. Pippen, you bring it up.
So let me ask you this to get you into a deeper breakdown in this Minute Rice's Minute. There is a Draymond Green moving without the ball on the offensive side.
Absolutely.
There is a Steph Curry, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen moving without the ball. Rip Hamilton moving without the ball.
I see what you're saying.
And then there is a Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan movement without the ball. Can you quickly give us just a little difference between the movement without the ball of each of the three and what makes them effective without it in all of their respects? Unlike maybe a Westbrook or a Harden, who don't seem to be as effective without the ball in their hands.
Okay. Let's do the Draymond Green.
Yes, please.
The Draymond Green, we're going to put him here.
Okay.
The Draymond Green without the ball is going to be a whole lot of ball picks, misdirections, getting away, trying to get his score. And those ball picks, screen and roll, screen and slips.
Okay.
So that he can get the decision making on the defensive end going crazy. Should I stay on Curry or should I stay on whoever? So Draymond Green may be moving at the ball. He sprints over to Clay as he's going to set the screen. If he feels his man shoot up the hedge the screen, he'll slip it right away. Draymond Green's going to be wide open because that man's up there was worried about Clay. This guy still want Clay. They hit Clay. They hit Dre.
Yes.
The defense slide because it's the defense slide to help Dre because he's going to have a
genius
dunk.
at that next pass.
And he got the next swing over to Curry.
Yes.
And then it's over.
It's over.
I mean, even the Iglugata couldn't shoot, but if you shoot him wide open.
KD was sometimes over there too.
If you shoot.
Steph or KD. Let's pick your points.
It's over there.
Yeah.
It's over there.
Because he got the
If they over there, it's over.
It's over.
But normally Iglugata be over there. But you give anybody an open three, a pro, it's curtains.
High percentage.
So that's the Draymond Green moving out the ball.
Okay.
And he has that's what people don't give him a lot of credit for. Ball in hand, without the ball. His IQ for the game. He's not very talented. He got a high IQ and a high motor.
He does.
And that's what gets him paid. And he has an understanding. Though he comes off to people in the media, we're going to talk about that one day we talked about before, what you hear about people, what you think about people. As an asshole, as an arrogant guy, he understands his ability.
He does.
He understands his ability.
He won't let you sell him short.
He won't, he understands because he comes with his pay on his pack.
He knows how hard he works.
He knows how hard he works. So that's why he works so hard. He knows his ability isn't here for him to take off. Just like Dennis Rodman. I can go to Vegas. I can go to Europe.
But and they'll have a spot for me when I come
what
back.
makes me, I'm just saying what makes me, I miss practice. I ain't you. You lazy. You want 30.
Right.
I live for the work. Yeah. That's the only way I'll get my job. So I don't need Coach Phil to motivate me.
No, he never did.
Because I'm motivated.
Jordan said that we was trying to get him in shape, and he was in better shape than all of us. Like, oh man, well let's go play. I'm still in shape.
After two bottles of Belvedere. After 2 bottles of Belvedere.
I'm good now.
I'm good.
I'm in shape. Okay, take us to the Rip Hamilton, Steph Curry, Reggie Miller movement without the ball.
Now what you just said was a shooter. Woo wee. Boy, shooter without the ball. can destroy a whole defense. The shooter moving, you running, you got to chase, you got to talk. The defense got to talk. If you don't have a talking defense, that shooter running up through a double screen gonna kill your whole D, because what you're gonna have is the man screening, you gonna go with him. Then they gonna get him open. Mm-hmm. So those guys stay on. You got to be in great condition. You got to have your footwork right. You know what I'm saying? Because you're coming off the screen.
I think the conditioning is important. People don't realize how much work it takes.
Yeah, it takes to run one side, to run, and it's not a jog. Kids don't understand that when you run through you have to sprint so that the defense.
And they bumping you.
They bumping you. They bumping you, and you want the bump. You've been lifting. You understand the bump. Curry and them, you get the bump, because while they're bumping you, your man is gone.
Yeah.
So that took that time while your man then went on somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So just all of that moving got your whole defense. But it's so easy to guard standing players. It's so easy to guard. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So when people were saying not to knock LeBron or anybody and do it like this, when Draymond Green got mad at KD, he said, "Klay does us no good just standing." You see what I'm saying? Klay does us no good just standing. We need Klay to, and we need him, and when he coming around there, if he open, bam. That's with them guys. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, the killers.
Please talk to us about it. What are they looking for? What are they trying to get when they move without the ball?
The killers without the ball, right?
Yes.
Have learned to do a different thing because they're probably being face guarded. Okay. They're really getting touched to coming through the middle.
Okay.
Because you want to try to disrupt their mental.
Right.
But if anybody knows any better, you don't want to disrupt the killer's mental. You just going to make him get a little bit more killer in that mode.
He'll punish you.
Yeah, just be cool. Be nice to him. I mean, you've heard it several times. Don't wake him up.
Yeah.
He might have came in here and looked down on us. Let him keep looking.
He might have gave us a soft 28 tonight.
Yeah, because he's chilling.
Now it's 40.
No, you done said, you done came to the lane, you done caught him with the elbow. Now he's 40. He dunking on 4 or 5 of us.
Yeah.
Backdoor cuts. Now that guy has to move without the ball because he understands. And that's how Phil Jackson was able to do the triangle with the Jordans, Kobe's. That's how Kevin Durant is one of my favorite players because he can move without the ball and he can get it with it. And this is what people don't understand, and they did it to Melo. The difference between Melo and the guys we're talking about is Melo had his back to the basket or the wing, and kind of like he's probably 1.5 seconds longer before he done what he done with the rock than those others done.
No question about it.
When those others came off the rock.
Just a little longer to work.
Just a little longer before he started his work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was his work. That was a guy that's probably been trained by a trainer that's solely working on his individual work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where these guys are coming off the double screens, as soon as they catch shot, pump fake, swing through left, one
feet
dribble,
right,
pull up.
Everything's right as soon as they catch it.
Everything's right as soon as they catch it. I don't have the time
to get.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm catching rays.
Right.
Yeah.
And now the reason I'm working on that is because I was born to be on the island.
Yeah.
You know, them cats.
So that's easy work, yeah. Like KD, if they say ISO,
they're not gonna leave them guys on islands. They're not gonna leave them guys.
A couple people have made that mistake. You can't. We've seen people get cut. Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Don't get stuck on that island.
Ball movement out to me to end this minute rice piece is. I think a lot of more people need to teach the youngsters, and a lot more people to watch Curry, to watch KD, Klay. These are some of our better guys that move without the ball. You know how much I like James Harden, the beard, and you be wondering why. And out of a debate, and me and you going back and forth, I understand where some of y'all look at James Harden. You understand what I'm saying? Because we've seen James Harden get the face guard and stand at half court. And that's what I mean. Are you out of shape? You don't want to run. You don't want to pick. You know what I'm saying? Just you being a decoy is enough. I mean, LeBron has done that too with Kyrie. If you go back, if Kyrie got the ball, he go way up high. No, man, y'all killers. I mean, not necessarily killers, but y'all intricate pieces to what we do. So if you just sprint through the middle, you're going to take 3 people with you. I don't know if you ever remember the game Derek Fisher hit the game winner against San Antonio Spurs. It was 0.4 seconds in the game.
Didn't Kobe sprint through and take something with him?
Kobe went, it was 0.4 seconds. Can you imagine how much of a killer you got to be? .4 seconds to go in the game. Robert Horry on the ball, guarding the ball. Kobe sprint to the opposite side of the court. Not to their basket. .4. Robert Horry and Kobe's man and another man go back to the backcourt with Kobe. Derek Fisher come around, they hit Derek Fisher for the boom. My point I'm making is, if you that man, if you sprint, you're going to take people with you because they came out the timeout. Popovich probably was like, do not let Kobe get the ball.
Yep.
Not Kobe. And all Robert Horry heard was, not Kobe. Regardless, because he was supposed to be guarding that area where they threw
he
the
like,
Fisher.
he said not Kobe. And so Fisher got the look.
And then they won. All because that man sprinted. So that's the same thing where if Harden sprint through, if LeBron sprint through, these guys that get looks. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We gotta teach these kids because like now a lot of training is all about individual. What you dribble.
But what you just showed is that there are several different ways to be effective in an offense without the ball, and all of them don't even necessitate you scoring or having a mind to score, such as a Draymond or Rodman. If you have an athletic enough body, and if you are willing to put the work in and have a motor that doesn't stop, you can get just as paid as anybody else, and scoring not be the thing you do first, second, or even third best.
Right.
And you might be a better rebounder, defender, screen setter, and then score.
If you're able to do those things, you help your team out to be a better team. If the best player, if your best scorer can do this and that also, that's how much. So if a Kobe or a Michael Jordan can go to be a Draymond Green, which they did, 16. They didn't, like you said, and you go at Westbrook and all them guys like that.
I do.
They didn't get. Kobe had 17 rebounds that game they beat the Celtics in the finals. It wasn't 17 rebounds because he wanted 17 rebounds. It's 17 rebounds because he needed to get 17 rebounds.
I need to help in another way.
To win. I got to do whatever it takes to win.
That's right.
And it was, my shot was off, let me go to this glass. You sure what I'm saying? So those guys can do more.
You're right. And are willing to. Absolutely.
And are willing to. You know what I'm saying? I'm a swing it and are willing to. So ball movement, teaching the kids. If nothing else, if anybody listens to this, start teaching your kids and the youth more about ball movement.
That sounds great. Moving without the ball.
Moving without the ball.
Moving without the ball. And which leads to ball movement because
Absolutely.
people know where to be. But absolutely right. That's your Minute Rice's Minute. And we'll take you straight to halftime in a minute. We're going to talk about a classic movie I think a lot of people have seen and might be a little more relevant now than it has been. What's happening? It's time for the second half. And we're going to keep it right in the realm of where we are. We're talking about the way the world is moving right now, which is really along the lines of race. Black lives matter, all lives matter, green matters always. And with that in mind, I want to get directly into Rice. Some of the reversing course that a lot of people are doing now, and a lot of sports leagues. The NFL has reversed course. They said we were too late. We were wrong. Kaepernick was right. We waited too late, but we want to apologize. We believe Black Lives Matter, and they're going to start making moves towards that end. NASCAR has decided they're finally going to take down Confederate flags, which is baffling to me. I didn't realize that there were still a lot of Confederate flags out there flying. I don't know why I would be surprised the places that they go and race. Drew Brees made a statement about basically talking about kneeling in protest of police brutality and inequality was a disrespect to the flag, when really Kaepernick was kneeling in respect of the flag because a veteran, a Green Beret, told him, don't sit, kneel. It's more respectful to kneel. It's a sign of respect. So he changed it from sitting to kneeling. And now that has been miscategorized as disrespect of the flag. Breeze, I think, knew that, but said he didn't. Came back and reversed course. Whether it's heartfelt or not, he reversed course. I want to ask you, what is your position on how heartfelt you need an apology to be? Do you care as a fan if the NFL really means it, or if it's just about the bottom line and the dollar? Because we talk about our black dollar matters, the black money matters. So let your dollar speak for you. Don't spend with people who don't support you. And when we speak out and we let them know our dollar's going to stop coming to you and they change course like we want it, we then sometimes don't want to accept it. So I want to know what is your stand on the heartfelt apologies, the lack of it being heartfelt? Do you care? And when it comes to matters of black and white, is green more important than both?
Okay, I'm gonna start with where we started off earlier.
Okay.
About educating and communication.
Please.
To me, heartfelt, an apology. You have to take an apology for what it's worth. You know, and but regardless of the apology, I prefer, and it's sad, just like with what was the Sterling from the Clippers?
Oh, Donald Sterling.
Yeah. I prefer. The world is getting too fake.
Okay.
You know, fake is the new real. If you can fake it real good, they support you. Donald Sterling, I mean, he was taped, but he brought you into who Donald Sterling is. You can't fix a problem or a person if they don't tell the truth. So whether it's Drew Brees or whatever, don't scale back, Drew. Yeah. You said what you said. And for you to say that, and you've been in sports, my old head has stated that, he knew what he said. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
He's been in front of the camera for years.
Yeah.
So
he's been around black people
for years. So that's how he feel.
Yeah.
And you can feel that way. Let him feel that way. Why everybody barking? The scale back is the phony to me. Mm-hmm. The scale. Let's start right there how he feel. And you're allowed to feel that way. Now let's sit down. Let's talk. This is how we're feeling, Drew. All right. And you don't believe that you should kneel or that kneeling is cool. Okay. Well, as you said, the chess piece. Do something for us. But show me that you understand what I'm going through or we're going through. Do something. I understand your grandfather went through what he went through. Absolutely. I understand your beliefs. I have to respect your beliefs. That's your beliefs. This is my beliefs. How can we make it to where we can understand each other? Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Not so much that I'm the victim, because I think that's where a lot of the Caucasian people and the white people get upset at. To be honest with you, is that we scream at victim, 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 and as you stated before, what about that? What about that kid who dad ain't there? Mm-hmm. That you know what I'm saying? They're in poverty, but they're white, and it's hard.
Yeah, and
you hear this person screaming. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna make you upset. Mm-hmm. So to me, I just believe that. I believe that real. I want you to tell the truth how you feel, so then we can discuss it. You got where I'm coming from?
I absolutely understand where you're coming from.
Then we can discuss it, and then we can break it down. We can tear it down, or we can still be cool, because it's gonna be that way. I've been in the locker room for years with many people. Mm-hmm. Can I actually say I mean, maybe I've been blinded. I don't know. I can't recall playing basketball, a teammate of mine being racist.
Well, Rice, I think what you said is relevant, and I think that's why I appreciate Trump, if for nothing else than bringing to the surface
there you go.
The boldness of people who feel a way to finally say it.
There you go.
Because what I don't agree with, as much as I don't like Trump or haven't voted for him, wouldn't vote for him, I'm not supporting him in any way. But I think we would all be super naive if we think that. How long has Trump been in office?
He's been in office what? He's just finishing up 4.
Did he somehow change all the laws into racist laws?
Right.
Did he somehow go hang all those Confederate flags in those NASCAR stadiums?
So Trump's their puppet, their bad guy for us to punch Trump.
And we feel like once he gets out of office, all of this is going to be fixed. He didn't bring this.
Stop it.
What he did was embolden.
There you go.
People to say it. Hey, we don't gotta hide it. This is how I feel.
Right.
And people's like, oh, you know what? We're with him.
Right.
I think it's between a combination, number one, of Obama being president. They felt like we were getting too big for our britches. So a lot of the racists felt like these niggas are going to take over if we don't say something. And Trump came right behind that. Like, we going to make America great again. Let's put these niggas back in their place. So I think it's been a confluence of events that creates the atmosphere we're in now. But what it has done is reveal who's who. People are feeling brave enough to say, I don't believe Black Lives Matter that much. People feel bold enough to say, why they using rubber bullets? They should go get real bullets. I mean, people are saying what they feel. And at least, like you said, you can have a conversation. But then that brings me to the next step, Tony Rice. Because I'm torn on it. Once somebody changes, do we then embrace the change because they want our money? Because we say let our dollar speak, and then when people change because they want our money, we're still mad. So do I want your heartfelt love for me to really accept me as your brother?
I just want
even
change.
Though I'm black?
I just want change.
I just want change. That's what I want. So I don't need you to love me.
No.
You can go home and cuss me out after you gave me the opportunity.
There you go.
Or after you changed the policy. After you passed a policy that said anybody that kills a black man gets tried for murder like a regular person would on the street. A white man, black man, any man. If you're a police officer and you brutalize an individual and you murder him and he wasn't resisting to do anything to deserve it, I don't care what color he is.
Now you know what you're saying.
You go to jail.
You know what you're saying right now.
What am I saying?
You know what you're saying right now.
What am I saying?
I'm gonna take you back to Donald Sterling.
Okay, please.
What you just said, and they condemned him for it because what I just told you. Fake is almost the new real.
Okay.
What Donald Sterling said about the blacks and about, you know what I'm saying, Magic or whoever, was in his home confinements of his home. Mm-hmm. He just got taped.
Yeah, true enough.
Right.
He was talking through.
Right.
He thought his girl.
But remember what you're saying now. He was showing us change though. His GM was black. My man was black. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Other NBA teams
wouldn't do it.
So, do you want Donald Sterling or do you want the other guy that ain't said it in public? You ain't caught him, but he ain't employing.
That's great. I think, like you said, I want the results.
Right.
I just want the results. I want, because I think what some people are afraid of, Rice, and I'm going to toss this right to you, is that we'll find out that it's less about racism than classism, even though I don't know if I fully buy into that. Where do you fall on the financial aspect? Like, that they'll follow the dollar. That they don't care if you're black or, like, if the black people are the one that are making them rich and they think y'all are all about to leave us, we'll change everything to make y'all come back.
I'm glad you asked that.
Okay.
And where you just said, I think that's a little too far. I'm going to scale it back to, it is about classism. I think it's all about classism.
You don't think it's about racism at all?
Racism is what they want you to bite on and to get lost on. Why those who understand how society is built and put together and the way of the world is all fighting up the ladder for classism. You got this group over here, which you just stated, Appalachians, whites. You got the inner city blacks, young fellas killing each other. You got all these people in here at a war of hate, right? Of having nothing. All while the classism, the haves are moving up. The haves are, if you got money, you can sit at the table with anybody, as you just stated. If Jay-Z was a custodian, there's no way he's sitting at the table with Goodell.
Absolutely. Oh, facts.
That's what I'm saying. So I believe that it's classism. It's the haves versus the have-nots.
But let me ask you this though. He can sit at that table though, Rice. And it depends on what you feel like the end game is. If the end game is just let me sit at the table, then you're right. But don't you think that there's some people at that table with Goodell and with all the owners? Don't you think that there's some owners at that table that's saying to themselves, I can't believe I'm sitting at the table with this nigger? You don't think that?
Again, you just went back to the action piece. So what if they say that?
But I'm asking, that's what's the end game? Is it just let me there, or is it you don't see?
When you say that, it could be another white man down from the table, a white man sitting down there, but he's 420 pounds, and they may say, "I can't believe I'm up here listening to this out of shape person." You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, but the slob. I'm sitting here listening to the slob. But at the end of the game, he's a half. So I'm gonna listen to him. You my people, and I'm gonna fix whatever your word matters. So Jay-Z words matter.
Oh, absolutely.
Say for instance, Jay-Z wanted to go to the table. Donald Trump gonna answer the phone for Jay-Z before he answered the phone for dude that just killed Floyd.
Oh, no question.
That's what I'm saying, because he's a half. Jay-Z's part of the half. It's the haves versus the have-nots. People better wake up. It's the haves versus the have-nots.
It is. I agree with you on a larger scale, Rice. But what I'm saying is the people that, this is a key. You don't get to move in those circles. I don't get to move. I don't get to see any of that. The people I deal with on a day-to-day are people who are similarly, I guess there's a similarly funded, if that's the way to put it. Like, I'm living with white people that live in close to where I'm living.
Right.
Dealing with me. So they're not part of that race either. So they're actually calling me nigger and mean it. Like, they actually think they're better than me because I'm black. I might have more money in my pocket than them. And they'll actually believe
where you see it
they're still better. I'm still better than you.
That's where you see it at. That's where you...
Because that's where I'm living.
To a degree, that's where you see... Well, okay.
I'm not saying that the people up there don't see it.
But you have it a little bit more. So you're on this level, right?
Okay.
So the people that's under you, right? Those same people. So your neighbor, if you live in a neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, $150,000 homes, $200,000 homes or more, you have a little bit more. Now you and your white neighbors, you all become talking buddies. You become cool to a degree. While the people that's underneath in the inner city, they're forgot about because they don't have. They have no word.
I don't agree. I agree with you to an extent, but all I'm saying is that there are some neighbors that are in the same neighborhood as me who will see me as less, even though I live next door. Now, this is a key. All we want is let me be able to be in the neighborhood. Don't have a law that says I can't be in the same neighborhood with y'all.
So let me ask you a question.
So I guess if I want to be in y'all's neighborhood, I guess I made it. But they still might see me and my kids as niggers.
I agree. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
And be honest. Again, there's no black people in that neighborhood that look at the people on Livingston as those are niggas.
Say that again now. Say that one more time.
There's no black people in the same neighborhood as that white. So you done moved in the neighborhood. There's some white people in that neighborhood that look at like, that's not,
yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But there's not no black people in that neighborhood that look at the people on Livingston. It's like, I'm not, they're not all welcoming to those because they're not halves. Yeah. But that let them move into that neighborhood, then they may open up a little, you can go
make assumptions. You make assumptions about them because of what they have. That you must be, now maybe their kids would come over and steal quicker than the Livingston kids. But you would think, they're going to come over, they don't know how to act.
Right.
There are some assumptions that you would make.
So the assumption things rocks all the way around, but it's still haves versus have-nots. That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to get into a deep, but you know my piece on white. Right. The white umbrella.
Gotcha.
That the Irish, when they first got here, were treated like blacks were treated.
Right.
Horrible. Still. The bottom of the barrel.
Still.
Not really, no. Nah. This is key because you were made to embrace the ethnicity that you are. You're Irish. You're Italian. You're Jewish. But over the years in America, this umbrella of white has stretched and gotten bigger and bigger to include Irish, you're up under here. Russian, Croatian, you're up under here. Even Jewish, you're up under here. I asked a Jewish man, and I know he can't speak for everybody else, but lovely man. We spoke. We were working in his house. Older gentleman. And I asked him. I said, I have a real frank question for you. Do you mind if I ask you a real serious? He said, you ask me anything. So we were talking deep about religion and everything else. And I asked him, do you consider yourself white? And he said, yes. I'm a white man. Yeah, I would consider myself a white man. I totally embrace my religion. I'm Jewish, but I'm white. And I said, okay, I was just interested to know. And he asked me, why did you ask that question? Now, he said, I'm not offended at all, but I just wondered what were you thinking, so I told him. That has brought to stretch all of the, somebody's going to be on the bottom.
Right.
So whoever was newest over was on the bottom, but after a while, if you can visually trick me, meaning that we all mix and I can't tell what you are by looking at you, you can fit under this umbrella with us, the generic label of white. You and I will never be able to fool them visually. So they'll never forget what we are.
Right.
There's a visual reminder that you're still a nigger.
Okay.
Regardless. I don't care how long you've been here.
Right.
Now, maybe some of our kids might have kids and keep mixing white until they look white. But as long as you look like this, I don't care how light you are. They don't care that I'm a couple shades lighter than you. If the KKK came in here, we both niggas, we both gonna have to battle our way out of here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You got your weapon with you. Okay. You good? You ready?
I keep mine. I keep mine.
I know you do.
I keep mine.
Don't get it. Don't leave me. Don't squeeze off and make room for yourself.
No. I got you.
You got me.
I got you. I got you. I make sure I got the right weapon. I got you though. I ain't gonna leave you. Bro.
He said I believe it.
I can't feel good if I leave you. Woo wee. They talk about me.
It's all good. I might be with you. I might be right beside you. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Right. We might leave a wake body. But in all seriousness, we never fit under that. So to me, culturally, in a classist society, it's not always based on money. Your class can be equated to something you can never shake. So to me, they have given the poor white somebody to look down on, regardless of if he's a doctor, has went and been educated, and has a mansion. And you're a high school dropout white man. Guess what? We got somebody you can still look down on. He's still a nigger. And there are some people who still feel that way. That's why when we walk down to the Black Lives Matters protests, there's some uneducated white people.
I was getting ready to say that.
Who still will look at you.
I was getting ready to say that.
Regardless of the fact. And this is key. They appreciate the fact that with all your education, all of your learning, all of your schooling, all of your civil, yes sir, no sir, all of the manners you've learned, how much you've come up, you still got to worry about the police killing you. I don't. I'm uneducated. I could drop out. I could be dirty. I could be a thief of mine. But I got the protection of I'm white.
Listen what
you're still a nigger.
Listen what you're saying.
They enjoy the police brutality because it illustrates for them. See, I told you, we don't have to worry about that. They still do. They're lower than us. They love it.
But do you hear what you're saying?
What I hear,
it takes it back.
Illustrate it for me.
It takes it back to what I'm saying. It takes it back to the communication and the education. You said undereducated.
Yes, sir.
Uneducated, and that goes back to what I say about the media. The media as a whole. The media that an uneducated person gonna bite on anything that's sold to them.
No question about it.
So they need that uneducated person to fight their war.
Yes.
While keeping us down.
And be distracted.
Distracted.
You see
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then the uneducated ain't gonna never, if they fighting us, we both, as they stated before.
Both of our hands are full.
As we stated before, if you ain't making over $200,000 a year, what is you voting for Trump for? I mean, Republican.
It's stupid.
It's about the money up there.
Yeah, it's about the money up there.
But like you said, uneducated, he got you thinking that he really for you.
Yeah.
He about that bread. And
that's cool. But it's real though.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can even understand a rich black person voting for him.
Right.
As much as I would say that's but I'm saying if it's about the bread, it's about the
haves and the have-nots. But yeah, so you know what that.
You made a great point. You make a great point. There is no solution or no right or wrong answer, but I think education. It's been an enlightening. I think it's been an enlightening conversation, and once again, it points back to what you said again: education, communication.
Yes,
once
sir.
Again.
Yeah.
You got anything else to add?
We can go ahead and get ready for this closure.
Let's get into the closure then. We'll see y'all in the closure section.
All right, countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time for the closer.
Yes, sir.
And with the closer, we done talked about a whole lot of what's going on in the society. Now we're going to spin it back over to the NBA is on its way back. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's on its way back. They're going to finish up somehow, some way. They need to get them TV dollars back straight. So it's back. And regardless what side you lean on, if the team you like win it, you cool. If the team you don't like win it, it's a false championship. So they shouldn't even really call it a championship. You should call it the winner of the COVID tournament.
I mean, you know what? I got to be honest, because it's going to throw everything all the way off. They said that they might start next season in December.
They're going to start in December.
So it's a little different. I'm excited to have them back. I could not, when you were saying this, I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for Hoop to be back. Of course, we want to see some Hoop. But, man, when KD tapped out and said he ain't going to play, I'm not playing this year at all. I've played my last game this season. We might only have to wait till December to get him, though. But because since the next season's coming earlier. But I was a little disappointed because I really felt like if Kyrie's healthy, if they could slide into the playoffs, I feel like they could make some noise and come out the East for sure.
In this COVID tournament, for sure.
In this COVID you saying COVID tournament. So can I ask you a question about this?
Yes, you may.
And this is something that I know all the inquiring minds would certainly want to know. When it comes to the Lakers, who I think if you had to say the Vegas betting favorites
they are
to win the championship.
They're the Vegas betting favorites to win the COVID tournament.
Okay, to win the championship. If they win, you're already saying, but I'm going to ask you anyway, is it an asterisk season? If they lose it, is it still an asterisk season where you don't? So in other words, this is what I'm trying to keep you from doing. For the fans, for me, for those that think we hate on LeBron, you're harder on LeBron than I am, but I'm honest.
I don't agree. You're just honest. But go ahead.
But this is what I'm saying. This is one thing I want to ask you, and hold your feet to the fire on, because if the season's important, it's important if they win it or if they lose it. If it's not important, it's not important if they win it or lose it. So what we want to try to keep you from doing, Tony Rice, is making a big deal out of it if the Lakers lose, but not celebrating them at all if they win. You can't have it both ways. Are you going to be all in and celebrating if they win or lose? Or are you going to be saying it's a COVID tournament even if they get eliminated and give LeBron
it's
a pass?
It's a COVID tournament regardless.
Okay, so you're going to give the Lakers a pass if they lose
a COVID
it and
tournament.
get eliminated. You're going to say it's just
Absolutely.
A COVID tournament.
Because the fact of the matter, I don't know if you've been peeping. They're saying some players may not show. Some players may have to use their rights to not play. So again, it's so much up in the air. It's a COVID tournament. They're all under the same building. You kicking it. You there. It's really a COVID tournament. You know, I have my stakes in on Houston. Others have it on the Clippers.
On Houston.
This is perfect. This is perfect for a team like Houston. The COVID tournament. You know, and again, should I give them credit for the COVID tournament? No one's going to give them credit. No one's going to give James Harden no credit if he gets.
I don't care what
the COVID tournament.
If Harden wins anything, I don't care if it's COVID or not. I think they'll give Harden credit. Harden needs to win something. I think I honestly will give him some credit. It depends on who all plays. If it ends up being like just a mockery where nobody's playing, but if most of the stars come and ball, I'm gonna give him some love over it. If you can get out the building with it.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So, but this is the key. I think you think the Lakers are going to win. So you hedging early to let it go.
No. By no means do I think the Lakers are going to win.
Oh, you don't?
By no means. Going in with Vegas, you know, I don't like to say this on the set. I have a gambling problem. So going in.
You certainly have,
and I don't want your brother.
I'll feast
on you. I stay feasting
off of you, bro.
You're not one of the realest. You're not one of the realest. I done got like 3 meals. You done gave me one. I mean, you gave me 3. I gave you 1.
Right,
that's facts of the matter. We ain't even gonna go there. I can't even understand the next time. So right now, I'm gonna have to get receipts. That's the word they use now. I'm gonna get receipts.
Get receipts.
I'm gonna get receipts.
Get receipts, bro.
You gonna keep feeding me. You gonna keep feeding me. You, Swain. I guess.
No. I don't know what you're doing. You sure you eating off Swain? Because you don't eat off me, bro.
Old bags.
Listen,
bro.
No, it's Texas, and
I got
Westbrook
me
had you feed me regular.
Me and Swain got.
You stopped betting on Westbrook because of me.
No.
You're like, I ain't going to Westbrook.
Got the old bags.
Can I get points?
You got the
like,
boom.
Bro, I got
guys out there. Listen, bro. I got what you call that, furlough, escrow. I got LeBron escrow on cats. Cats ain't even paid yet over years. You see what I'm saying?
They still paying off the Golden State losses?
Man, they ain't paid, bro. I can't catch up with you. Let me know when you want to eat. Come on, that's cool. I'm losing weight because them guys ain't getting me right. You know what I mean? So back to what I was just saying. To you. I mean, that's what I was trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Bro. I'm just
asking.
You know what I'm saying?
6:30 in the morning, we in the gym, bro. You can get in here with me. Bro? You can get in here with me, bro.
You getting any J's?
Yeah, listen. J's.
No,
they ain't opened up that part of the gym. We just talking about the, you know what I'm saying? We talking about the
cardio. I didn't know if you did hook.
Yeah, come on, get with me. Anyways.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I'll see. Okay. I don't know if it's productive.
Get with me. Yeah, absolutely. You see.
I'm just asking.
You see. Stop it, bro.
I'm just asking. But when you gonna be able to get some J's up again?
About another week or two. You know what I'm saying? They trying to keep a real shooter out there. No, for sure. July 1st, I'm in my gym.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I'm in my gym.
What kind of parameters though? Like,
you can
how
shoot.
many at a time can you have?
I'm thinking about, from what I'm hearing, you can get 6 to 10.
6 to 10 with proper distancing.
Well, you can't play.
Everybody's touching the same ball.
You can't go. Oh, they're not worried about all that, man. They hooping.
Sure?
They hooping in other arenas right now. They playing 5-on-5. Ain't nobody worried about that, man. Listen, it goes back to what we was just saying about the haves and the have-nots. You see what I'm saying? A few weeks ago, everybody was mad at people hooping.
Yeah.
Because that was the have-nots. There was the have-nots out there in the streets in the inner city hooping. Yeah. But now that the haves is out there hooping,
it's cool.
It's cool. The COVID ain't going. The COVID went south.
The only thing about it is you can't control where everybody's been or where they're coming from.
Right.
And so you just got to be like sharing that same ball and sweat and stuff. You could get COVID. I mean, you can get COVID out here.
Man, get out here.
Okay, Rice.
Get out here.
All right, bro. So you go in there?
No. Don't tell me I go in there. I could point you to where they at every day now. They hooping right now. So don't put it on Rice. I've been said this. I just didn't point the finger at when the younger fellas was out there at Livingston.
So can I come in there and get some J's up? Without
you can always get you can always get that, because I'm gonna leave that. I normally don't like people in there when it's rated X, when I'm got you in there and I'm doing that to you. So, you know what I mean? I only have four people in it.
I heard that flick fell all the way off.
Man, stop.
That's what I heard.
Man.
That's just what I heard.
Stop it, man.
That's what I heard. I heard you ain't been able to get in there
during these racist times, man. For years, I've thought that Larry Bird was my dad or somebody. You know, I had a white dad the way this shot looked. I didn't understand. But anyway, like I said, if my money, my hard-earned money, I got to put it on the Clippers. I just feel like Kawhi ain't letting LeBron beat him.
I don't think he's gonna let him either. Paul George probably got a chance to get healthy.
Oh my!
It could be a super series.
They got a lot of smoke over there with the Clippers.
They do, and then Giannis and him is fresh. You know, Giannis, you could hope for him to wear down the way he was playing so hard every night, but with this long rest, he young and fresh. LeBron would have to even see him if they made it probably out of the West.
Way they doing it. Ain't no out of the West, I don't think. No, they are. I thought they were doing it.
You know what?
I thought no.
You might have a point.
Somebody told me the Clippers and the Lakers could actually play in the championship.
Okay. Well,
so whatever's going on, I
gotta look into it.
That's what I told you. The COVID tournament.
COVID tournament. They but they might use this as an opportunity to switch everything.
There you go.
So we'll get an opportunity to see it. But man, it's been a wonderful show. We still have to do our greatest team of all time.
We're going to get that together. We're going to put that on the next show for sure.
What's happening in the world?
Yeah,
we just had to push pause and talk about more serious matters this time.
Before we get out of here, man, can you want to shout out anybody that you feel like you can outshoot or that you feel like you owe?
I definitely can get Richie Wilson.
Richie, you
I
sure?
definitely can get
Did
Larry.
Richie Wilson get you before?
I definitely can get Larry. No, we was in a what was it? The Briggs versus West game?
Yeah. The Briggs versus West.
He won. He won it all.
Okay.
That's when you flipped it on me.
Oh, I did. I flipped it on you. But you have do you have full confidence that you can get him?
Yeah, I got full confidence I can get. Now listen, he can shoot. No disrespect to him.
Oh, but
he's a shooter.
But you can flip.
Listen, I didn't come to learn how to shoot. I wake up in the morning and shoot. But this is what happened to me though, and this is no excuse. He did his thing.
All right.
But y'all was allowing people to, because it's a fundraiser, y'all was letting people buy extra shots.
Right.
So I just happened to have the highest score the first round. I didn't need to buy none.
Okay.
So a couple cats bought extra shots. I think Richie did too. The first round or something.
Right.
Got some extra. And then I shot last in the second.
Oh, okay.
In the second because I had the highest.
So you had your trigger.
So I was like, let me buy some extra shots. And you was like,
Oh.
You was like, we ain't buying nothing. Ain't
So
no
your
buying
gun-
nothing in the
your-
final.
That's not fair for your gun to be like that. I got you.
Well, no, but I'm not saying it's not fair. But what I'm saying, I didn't know I couldn't buy no shots in the extra.
I'm gonna put this out
in
here.
the final round.
I'm gonna put this out here.
Okay.
Towards the end of the summer, so you can get your pistol right.
Okay.
Towards the end of the summer, I'm gonna host a big old shootout. Okay?
That'd be great.
It's gonna be like $10 or $15 to get in.
That'd be great.
And then and the winner.
And
the winner
Larry
take off.
get Larry Hubbard in it because he think he can shoot. Larry can shoot. Larry can shoot.
Y'all gonna go down there on the JV court, then? Man, I'm talking about shooters. I'm talking about.
Don't do me like that, bro. You know, now
you
know
did
my
you like
flick is
that?
serious.
We talk about. Well, you can't put
Don't
that.
bring him in. Don't bring up certain names.
but hey, we talking about shooters, bro. You got Curry, Clay,
Yeah, and
right?
then
You got Curry, Clay, and then you got Artest. What you talking about?
Don't do
Artest-
Larry like that.
I ain't doing
I'm
it.
gonna tell him you doing Larry dirty, bro. Can you outshoot Larry
Larry who?
Hubbard
Man, stop, man.
with your
Anyway,
left hand? Could you outshoot him with your left hand?
Richie was a good person to bring up, and
Richie,
Richie used to go to
Richie
Briggs.
can- Richie can flick. Richie got
he can
flick.
shoot. He's a good guy. You know what I'm saying?
got
That'll
flick.
make a good run and a good shooting.
And he got a nice rhythm, a nice bounce, smooth rhythm to his.
He'll make a
his
good
flow.
run.
His daughter can shoot.
He'll
Have you
make a
seen
good
his daughter?
Yeah, I've
Little
seen it.
highlights he be showing of his daughter.
Absolutely.
cold.
They getting it in.
I think his son is nice too, but his daughter seemed like she got that flick.
Yeah.
That Wilson flick.
So yeah, man, we're gonna close out. I'm glad you put him out there. I mean,
I mean, she's always could shoot. Kershaw could shoot. I'll bring
I'm talking
10 out.
about.
I got
I'm
some
talking about
guys
a
that
real.
shoot.
I'm talking about a real shooting contest, bro. You talking about?
I'm just saying.
No, I'm
She's
talking about
getting
guys.
some time to get
I'm
in
talking
there.
about
Oh, you know
guys.
what? He-
I'm talking about guys that's gonna make 70.
She's heard it. Had
right.
a
Okay, but I'm talking about
plantar
he did?
fasciitis.
Okay.
I think he.
We're gonna let him sit
No,
down
he had
for
a
me.
Liz Frank.
Right.
Had to have surgery.
We're gonna
so
let
he
him
ain't
sit
gonna
down
be
there
right.
and let the forwards. I'm talking about guys that's gonna be in there with 70 out of 100 threes minimum, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
mean, it's going to be some
And it's not
conditioning
many.
needed. It's going to be conditioning
For
needed.
you guys.
For me, even.
Right.
It's going to be conditioning needed for me because after, 50,
I know some good
that
shooters.
flick, that lift,
Yeah.
because I jump a little bit with mine, that lift, if I ain't in shape,
Yeah.
it can, that flick.
I'm gonna look out for you because you my guy. I'm gonna put you down there in the any year I went to the Gus Smacker, they always had like the toilet bowl tournament. So what you mean?
Get us out of here, man.
I'm up outta here,
close
man.
out this closer. I can still get you.
All right, go on. Let's
do it.
All right.
Listen, man, it's been great. I've enjoyed it, man. It's been a really good show. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope it makes it a little easier to get through your days and what you're going through personally. To have us share what we're going through and our thoughts on it. Hope it's some entertainment for you as well to take your mind off some very serious issues. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to those who support us constantly. We'll be working on the social media outlets,
It's coming.
really getting those up and running. Shout out to a couple people who always show a lot of love. Alfonso Meadows always shows a lot of love. Tim Good shows a lot of love. My mom, my sister show a lot of love.
Absolutely.
Anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you think can
Everybody.
think of that shows us a lot of love?
It's not
consistently?
enough people, man. Everybody's showing love. I really, really appreciate everybody. I know everybody's showing us love.
Yeah, appreciate DP for the last episode. Got a lot of good feedback on that too, and Beast Mode and his endeavor in Beast Mode. So we'll holler at y'all a little bit later on. Blessings.